So I just went ahead and finished the outside. It ended up not being that much different from the inside. And there it is. Let's walk out on this little bridge. This should be good. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty cool. Hello everybody. Welcome to episode 17 of the Gocleau Vegetarian modpack Let's Play series. This is Gocleau from Flatironix Entertainment, and I would like to thank you for joining me today. We do have a few things on the agenda. First is going to be finishing out this Coliseum sort of a structure, this top front layer out around to the building. I think we'll do quite a bit. And here's a back view of that second house. And one of our tasks for today is going to be completing this back tower up just to the roof line, or like the top of the roof line, I think. Seems like an appropriate place to bring that for today, just so that we have it up and established. But the real cool is from this other side. So to start, let's hop up here on my little tower. So yeah, that wall is going to be here. And that is one of the few tasks that we have set out for us today. Oh, that horse has a friend. So as I was saying, one of our goals is to continue this structure out all the way around here, up on top and in front. Our next task is going to be this wall. Our third task is going to be that tower in the back. Our fourth task is going to be this little arch that I wanted across here. We need to get the wall up and built first before I see if I'm going to like that and how to accomplish it. So the wall, the tower, the arch, the Colosseum building. And do you remember back in an older video when I said you'd be able to see everything from everywhere and how amazing that was going to be? Wow. Look at that. There is of course going to be a giant wall that cuts off the bottom part of those houses, but for now, there isn't. I guess to start, there are just some basic housekeeping things to finish out here. This is in that secondary little weird door. So as with these other buildings, this outside part is just going to be these bricks. I'm going to do the migmatite, stone bricks, gray trachyte bricks, gray tough bricks, and just patterns randomly of them all. I'm going to keep this as open archways to kind of mirror the arches that I have elsewhere, just obviously a bit smaller. And I think my ultimate plan for this grassy area out here is to turn it into like a giant garden. So that's my main motivation for keeping these open in here. And I'm choosing to do a different style of bricks out here than I did around here, in the hopes that it looks like it was built by a different person at a different time period, but by the same group of people. And then I also think that I'm going to make this house-like building and this tower be kind of combined. So you'll walk up these stairs up to where we just were, and then from here there will be a floor out here that'll be the floor for this tower. And up here I'm thinking it would be cool to have like a round spiral staircase that'll come up to the next level of this, which is going to be here, so that you can go up there. So there won't be stairs inside of this building up to the next level. They'll actually in fact be in the tower. But you don't need to watch me do a whole lot of bricks, so I'm just probably going to get the brick outside accomplished off screen really quickly up to the top of the roof, and then we will finish up the stairs, the ceilings, and the floors together. So I'm just going around and finishing this out. And I'm not up to the top yet, but I realized that it's going to be easier for me to build the spiral staircase out here. If I do it as I'm building this up, I've got 2 tough and a trackite, so I'm going to do 2 tough there so that the pattern just come down here. It just kind of staggers around and looks really nice if you do it that way. And then there's all of these other accents in there. And you can see better now what I was talking about with how it looks like the tower was built at a different time. These are more carved looking blocks versus these look like they were constructed. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 each one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the next one will also be 4 wide, and then it comes out of the wall 2. So 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2. 1, 2, and then when you 2, 2. And then when you get up here, it gets a little bit tricky on the corner, but you just have to look at it from this direction too. So you would come out 2 from there. And the other thing to notice is that at this point, we turn and look at it from this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. And then for this last layer, I'm going to do it a little bit differently on purpose because it comes around. I love that it's exactly all the way around. I hadn't actually intended for that to happen, but that's way cool. So obviously I'll need to do some kind of framing around on the inside to make it so it's not just a floating thing. Let's see if I add another few of these. Then I can bring this around like it should be. And I feel like that'll probably be better. Let's walk up and see. Yeah, cool. So I'm thinking that I probably won't do the floor out any further than like where it already is. So it's not going to come out any further than this. It'll be like an inside deck. They call that a landing. And then it'll be able to look out at the windows and look up. I wanted to give a little brief update to where I am with this. I decided that this little tower needed some parapets in the corners, which a parapet is like a small tower added onto the larger tower, and I am ultimately going to put another floor into this. So you come up here, around here to the floor of the house, and then up here, and this floor is going to continue out all the way across and probably into those 2 parapets, and then this one I think I'll just leave open or something. Cool. So I went a little overboard with some of the things. I decorated the inside and I finished that tower, and I think we should just go ahead and do the tour now really quickly because I ran out of materials. So building the wall and all of the things is going to be difficult. I took out those 2 cobble generators, and ultimately I'll remove that and replace it with a fountain or something down in the middle. Here are the bells and the bell tower and the roof. Like I said, I finished off pretty much this whole thing. I'd like to be able to move on to the animal farm in the next episode, I think. This is that little bridge between the two buildings. So if we come out here to the front, that's that bridge that we were just in. There you can see the bell tower in the back. This is the wall that we're going to do next. Well, let's come back here and check it out, this bell tower that I made. I think it turned out really nice. Ooh, into the water. Just increased my visibility a little bit. It's kind of having a hard time with all of the redstone and all of the things that are stored in here. That's the main reason why I'm removing all of this. Once I end up, I think I'm probably just going to make a whole bunch of obsidian off screen with this, and then I'll remove all of this and put a fountain or something in here like I was saying. I might even leave these barrels, fill them with water, I'm not sure. So in here, I added walls on the top of the stairs. Not too much else new here. Alright, but here some things have changed. So not too much here, except as you can see, I moved. Actually, I kind of like what that did there. That's cool. I moved the crucibles and the cobblestone generators and the barrels that were all in here down into an actual spot. I don't know if you remember, but way back I showed this quarry out here where it goes down for a long way. And then I removed one of the mods and it opened up a giant pit. This giant pit here. And I forgot about it for a while. And then I was just looking the other day and I saw these. And I remembered, hey, there's an entire network of little rooms back here. So I made a little viewing platform. And then here are the barrels and the crucibles. This ends up being a much nicer situation here. I can just grab the lava super easy and then come up here and grab a water, and I can fill it as much as I want. I don't have to pick it up really fast. It's just going to stay contained within these slabs. So I also made some discoveries that I wanted to show you guys really quickly. One of them is with this rock hounding mod. I showed the cutting station multiple times actually, so we all know what that does. However, I also found this rocks vending system. This is much cooler by far than the cutting station. Let's pick a color. Cyan. And we'll give it an iron nugget, and we can cycle through here. Chrysocolla. That sounds like a disease. Amazonite. That sounds amazing. Ooh, glauconite. That looks kind of like Gocleau. Kinda. So, I want one of those. I put in my iron nugget, and I can hit this purchase button, which gives me the rock, or I can put in this rock finder, which is just a book and 3 smooth stone, And it will tell me information on any stone that I'm looking in here, where I can find it, what level I can find it on. And then I can pull it out and put the mouse over it and still see that information. Put it back in, find a different rock, and it changes to that rock. So here it is, this stone. Let's put it here. Pretty. But let's pretend like I don't want it to be smooth. I just want back that normal plane block. What I do is come up with some sandpaper and right click on it, and it will eventually turn it back into a plane block. And then I can turn it into something else if I want. One thing about the sandpaper is that it can't turn a shaped block back into a normal block. Okay, and then one more thing to show before I get to grinding out some materials here is this block right here, the Floaty McFloaty block. I discovered it. It's really easy to make. Iron and feathers. And it just gets placed in the air. Look how fancy. Ouch. This seems to go just like right in front of your face, but see, there's nothing attached to it. So this process does take a little bit. So I'm going to make those materials, gather some stone brick, and then see you back over at that wall. Okay, so this wall, no matter what I do, once I get the castle keep up, I'm sure I'm going to want to change it. For that reason, it is mostly going to be stone brick with a few other things thrown in here and there. And I'm just going to leave that open for the moment, because this path is here, this bridge to the village. I'm trying really hard to do as little of the castle community as I can get away with for now, because I want to focus on the monolith builders. But I obviously had to get the storage facility done. Let me go ahead and get a bunch of this finished, and then I'll come back, as I have done. I mean, it's pretty straightforward what I'm doing. I just don't want it to be boring. That's why I'm throwing these other blocks in. 2 cobble. That's ludicrous. Just a smooth stone. There. Boom. Cool. Alright, and here's the end of this thing. I did end up bringing it up one higher than I was thinking. I was looking at this and realized that I've got an awesome opportunity here to continue this arch through here. Put some more stairs here. This is, of course, the first arch here, which is what we're going to be doing next. If I were to go, even with this torch, for the first stair, I think I'm going to need some dirt scaffold for this. Here. Hooah. Oh. My, that always kind of surprises me. I'm never quite expecting that. So like that, then I could do... Oh, I guess I just need that, maybe? Remove that slab and those dirt blocks. Something like that. Remove that one. What does that look like? I'm kind of just looking at the bottom for a moment to see if it matches what's going on over there. I don't know. I don't think it's necessary, to be honest. Now that I'm here, planned all of this around this arch. Oh my gosh. What am I doing? Just take it out and look. I think that the wall and the buildings kind of speak for themselves, if I'm to be honest here. I mean, it does seem to need something, this building. Maybe what it needs is like some of this treatment here, where we've got a column there, and then I can match it on this side, like that. Right through the door. And then maybe I continue it along the bottom here with some stairs. Like that. And then it interacts with the street. Like that. Yeah. I'm liking that a lot. Whoops. I think having a little bit of floor on it might help. I decided to add a little bit more to this alleyway in the back. I realized that there was no way up to the Coliseum second level, so I went ahead and added a stair here, and then that opened up all of this to the alleyway here, and then I pushed it all the way back to the opening for this tower. So I'm still not sure what I'm going to do inside for the floor. For now, I'm just going to leave it as grass. And actually, that kind of balanced this out. Yeah, I like that a lot. I like the side, I think, is done like that, really. So that leaves this side. And this side, I think, has the best of the down angle illusion. I think I like it like this, to be honest. But I do want to add some of these vines here and there. I'm not sure where. That's probably going to be an ongoing project. I really need to even out this land out here. Case in point. Let me switch into the third-person account and fly around a little bit and see how this looks from the air, from further away. Yeah, that looks cool. Some really, really big structures right next to each other, but they're turning out way cool. Let's get a look from this side. Definitely liking how that looks. Yeah, that looks great. Just like the whole structure, the whole thing, both houses, both towers, all of it. It's looking really good. And it should give a good idea for the themes that we are going to be using for the rest of the castle monolith city thing. I mean, like, if that didn't make sense before, maybe it'll make a little bit more sense now. I don't really have much of the monolith culture. I guess it's this tower is the monolith culture. And probably story-wise, what I'm really thinking for this area is that this is kept by some spiritual folk, and they're in charge of all of the storage things. And also just make a simple living out here within this little compound, maybe? So to that end, I think I could probably lower this whole thing and make it really pretty. And that's why I was thinking the garden would be perfect out here. And over there. And they live in these houses? I think that's a really cool thing. So before we go really quickly, I just had one more thought, one more little pearl of wisdom that I wanted to lay down on you here. And that is that when you're building something like this, if you want your buildings to feel real, like important and lived in, then you've got to actually spend some time in-game in the buildings. So these two little houses and the bell tower and all of this will ultimately be our base for the next couple of episodes at the very least. At least while we're out building the next couple of things, but I would imagine it'll stay that way. That this will stay our base for a little while. At least until it's full and looks lived in. But we are going to have to get to that another day, as we are out of time for today. But I want to thank you for taking your time to watch this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it. This has been Gocleau from Flatironix Entertainment. And I hope that you have enjoyed the builds until now, and I will see you in episode 19. So I hope that you're having a great day, and I hope that you have enjoyed the builds up until now, and until episode 19. Hello everybody. Welcome to episode 18, I believe. Welcome to episode 18